Okay, here we're dealing with section 1.2. And these are exponent rules. This pretty much is just a review of Algebra 2. We did all of this in Algebra 2. But this is a good review, and some of this stuff is going to be very important later on. So it's a good thing to go back and take a look at. Let's take a look at two things, x cubed and 3x. They both involve x's and 3's, but they mean very different things. X cubed means x times x times x, whereas 3x means x plus x plus x. And these are very, very important. Okay, x to the 0 equals 1. This is by definition. That's just the way this is defined. X to another power. Now you notice this has got a negative. Negative in exponent means reciprocal. You flip it. So that's the same as 1 over x to the n. Okay, take a look at some basic laws. Look at your Algebra 2 notes. You'll see all of these in there. Some number to the m power times n power is the same as a to the m plus n. A to the m over n. A to the m to the n is a to the mn. Two numbers, both raised to the same power. This is one you might want to keep in mind. Same as a to the m, b to the m. Same thing if you're dividing. You just raise your numerator to the power and your denominator to the same power. Okay, one other definition. It's very important. Then I have some number, and this is what's called a rational exponent. It's written as a ratio or a fraction. So a to the 1 over n means the nth root of a. So obviously you could take a look at this and forget it now. These radicals have pretty much the same properties. Nth root of AB is the same as the nth root of A times the nth root of B. Be careful when you do this and make sure these are being multiplied, because is not the nth root of A plus the nth root of B. This is very wrong. Don't do that. Okay. If I got two radicals nestled like this, it's the same as multiplying these two power, get what your radical is. Equals A if n is an odd number, or if the absolute value of A if n is even. And the reason for this is to make sure that we keep real numbers in here. Okay, let's take a look at some examples and how we're going to use these. Evaluate. You're going to hear this term a lot. It means solve. So, they want you to evaluate this guy. We got two negatives. Go back, look at what I did before. Negatives means reciprocals. So, flip numbers with negative exponents. In this case, it's both of them. So I'm going to end up with 2 to the 8th over 4 to the 3rd. Now, there are a couple ways of solving this. We can go straight forward. You can raise 2 to the 8th power, which is 256. 4 cubed is 64. You divide those out, that's 4. The other way to do it is to use your law of exponents and write this as a power of 2. Now, I don't care which way you do it. This sometimes can simplify your life. So I'm going to rewrite my 4, which is 2 squared, and that's cubed. We have an exponent law. Remember, when you raise it to the power, you just multiply these. So I'm going to end up with 2 to the 8th over 2 to the 6th. When you divide these numbers, you subtract the exponents, so that's 2 to the 8 minus 6, which is 2 squared, which is 4. And either way will get you the right answer. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. I've got 1/4 to the negative 2. All right. You've got a negative exponent. What that means is I'm going to flip it. So that's going to rewrite as 4 over 1 squared, which is 4 squared over 1 squared, which is 16 over 1, which is 16. And there's your final answer. Okay. Simplify. This is the skill none of you wanted to remember. First thing we're going to have to do is simplify these radicals. To do this, you're going to have to remember your squares. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. It's 25. 6 squared equals 36. 7, 8, 9. Down to 10 squared equals 100. If I want to simplify this, I start with the biggest number right here. This does not divide evenly into this. Always start with the biggest one. Then I pop down here 16. 16 will work. So I'm going to rewrite 32 as the square root of 16 times the square root of 2. I'm using my radical powers. Same way with 18. 16 will not divide evenly into it, but 9 will, so it becomes the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. This is going to be nice. We're going to take only the positive square roots of these things now. We got 4 square root of 2 plus 3 square roots of 2. So I've got 4 square roots of 2, and I'm adding 3 square roots of 2 to it. So I end up with 7 square roots of 2. Now, this is a little bit different. If the problem had been written a little bit differently, I have 4 square roots of 3 plus 3 square roots of 2. That is not 7 square roots of 5. Notice these are the same radicals, so you can add them, but these are different, all right? What you're doing here is you're mating elephants and cockroaches if you add these together. So this is wrong. Don't do this. All right, next thing. We want to simplify and eliminate negative exponents. And I've got 6y cubed to the 4th over 2y to the 5th. So the first thing I'm going to do is eliminate my parentheses. This is something you guys are used to doing and should be comfortable with. This 4th power has to go to everything in there. It's going to be 6 to the 4th times, whoops, y to the 3 times 4, since it's 3 to the 4th, over 2y to the 5th. Okay. So now I'm going to have 6 to the 4th, y to the 12th, over 2, y to the 5th. Simplify these, I'm dividing. So 6 to the 4th divided by 2 is going to give me 648. That's this part of this problem. This guy right here is going to give me y to the 12 minus 5. I'm going to end up with 648. Y to the 6. Okay, the last example I want to work is rewrite using rational exponents. So we've got 3x to the 5th times the cube root of 8z. All right. Rational exponents, remember, is where I deal with this. This guy does not have anything in there, so we're going to leave it the way he is. If I'm going to rewrite this, the first thing, I've got 2 multiplications, so I'm going to use my radical rule and break them up. Cube root of 8 times the cube root of, see, cube root of 8 is 2. So I'm going to bring that out. I'll end up with 3 times 2, x to the 5th. And now I need to rewrite this because this is a variable. It's a cube root, but I want to change this a little bit, guys. Let's put a square up here. So z, my power goes up on top. My root goes on bottom. And this is your answer. Well, you did it through 3 times 2. X to the 5th, z to the 2/3. And that is your radical. Rewriting using radical exponent. Remember, the top is power, the bottom is the root, or the radical.